The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The Philippine National Police reports a generally peaceful filing of certificates of candidacy, or COCs, over the past week. PNP Chief Guillermo Eleazar said they did not receive any reports of significant incidents that would have marred the 8-day filing. Eleazar attributed the orderly filing to the preparations made by the police force and other law enforcement agencies ahead of the activity. The filing of COCs for national posts was held at an outdoor tent at Sofitel Plaza in Pasay City from October 1 to 8.
I would like to congratulate and extend my sincerest appreciation to the dedication and display of maximum tolerance of our men on the ground to make sure that we achieve our goal, and that is to make this electoral process peaceful and orderly.
A total of 97 presidential aspirants and 29 vice presidential applicants filed their COCs. Among those who filed to run for the presidency are Vice President Leni Robredo, whose running mate is Liberal Party President Senator Kiko Pangilinan. Meanwhile, former Senator Bongbong Marcos, the son of dictator Ferdinand Marcos, also threw his hat in the ring for the presidency. And Labor leader Calyode de Guzman is also a presidential contender, as is Manila Mayor Isko Moreno, with his running mate Dr. Willie Ong. Senator Manny Pacquiao and running mate Congressman Lito Atienza submitted their COCs on the first day of filing. Meanwhile, Senator Ping Lacson and Senate President Tito Soto also filed their COCs for President and Vice President respectively. And in a surprise filing on Friday, PDP Laban decided to endorse Senator and former Police Chief Bato de la Rosa for President, and Senator Bongo, longtime aide of President Duterte, for Vice President. Former Senator Antonio Trillanes is accusing Manila Mayor and presidential aspirant Isko Moreno of pretending to be a moderate candidate. In an ANC interview, Trillanes responded to Moreno's attacks against Vice President Leni Robredo, whom the latter referred to as a yellow tard. This was an insult often used by Duterte supporters in reference to the once ruling Liberal Party. Moreno's statements against Robredo came after the vice president said unity talks with him bogged down due to his stance on the family of former dictator Ferdinand Marcos. And the Manila mayor had previously said that the Marcos family should be given a chance to prove that they're nothing like their father, something that Robredo did not agree with.
Bakit kailangan uminog ang mundo namin ngayon sa away ng Marcos at Aquino, sa away ng anak ni Marcos at mga anak at kasama ng yellow tards? Ay, pink na pala, sorry. Bakit lagi na lang kami mamumuhay sa away nilang dalawa?
The National Privacy Commission says the Bongbong Marcos emergency alert text messages may have been a case of cell tower spoofing. Jess De Los Santos explains in this report.
On Wednesday, those near Sofitel for the filing of certificates of candidacy received an emergency alert mobile system message. The message campaigns for presidential aspirant Bongbong Marcos. The former senator and even telcos already denied involvement in the use of the text blasts meant for calamities. So that begs a question. What happened?
What happened is that a nearby cell tower broadcasts these messages. So I understand that telcos may not be aware of this. Yes, that may be true. As cell tower spoofing exists.
So what's spoofing, you ask? It's basically disguising communication as if it were from a known or trusted source. It makes use of a stingray, a device used to imitate cell towers to broadcast messages. Question is it even allowed here in the country?
These devices are difficult to purchase. This is not commercially available. This can be used in other areas as this is only portable, and given that one has such access to black markets or has these devices, one can also broadcast this to other areas as well.
The National Privacy Commission admits they haven't made progress in their investigation over the alert blasts. The National Telecommunications Commission has reason to believe that portable cell sites were used for the blast, the selling and use of which has been banned since 2013. But they admit monitoring is no easy feat.
Nahihirapan po kami dyan, yung pagpasok kasi sa Bureau of Customs, Coordination Bureau of Customs. Kasi pagka ipinasok yan na hindi rin dumaan sa customs, mahirap po talagang ma-monitor kasi yung iba po maliliit na eh.
Illegal use of such devices is punishable for a measly fine of 2,000 pesos. Jess De Los Santos, We Are One News.
In other news, Metro Manila is now at moderate risk for COVID-19, according to data from think tank OCTA Research. According to Professor Guido David of the OCTA Research Group, the daily average number of cases in Metro Manila over the past week dropped to 2,140 from over 3,600. The reproduction number in the National Capital Region also decreased to 0.61. However, while the region's daily attack rate, positivity rate, and ICU occupancy rate decreased, they remain at high risk. COVID-19 pandemic forced schools to close, which has affected children's education. So what should we prepare for the resumption of face-to-face classes? Let's find out straight from the World Health Organization.
As many countries are putting in place measures to protect students and staff and also larger communities safe and keeping them safe during this phase of the pandemic, what are WHO's recommendations to keep communities safe?
That's right, Vismita. Many countries have put in place and are putting in place precautions to keep schools open safely during the COVID-19 pandemic. Schools operate in communities, and the first thing is to make sure that we try to drive transmission down as much as possible in those communities, because the individuals that work at those schools live in the communities. Second is to ensure that we have good systems in place within the school system to be able to monitor the health of the students and staff. This is a plan to be able to detect cases, to ensure that children who are unwell stay at home, to make sure that there's good communication with the students themselves, the faculty, as well as the parents, so that they know what to do if a student is unwell or if a teacher is unwell, to make sure that there's good provisions within the schools to minimize the opportunity for spread of the COVID-19 virus. This is about disinfection, it's about improving ventilation, about distancing, about wearing of masks, and if there's vaccines available in the areas, to make sure that the vaccination is undertaken in those communities among the priority groups who live there.
Maria, during this pandemic, we've seen how important it is for students to have that continuity of education. Let's go a little deeper into what steps a school should take if a case is detected.
So that is a great question. It is really important that students have that continuity in terms of their education and their safety and well-being. It's about having a plan in place. First of all, if students are feeling unwell, we recommend that they stay home and that they're cared for by a parent or a guardian at home. If there are cases in the school, they need to be able to be detected so that they can receive the proper care, they can receive a test, they can receive the proper care that they're needed based upon the symptoms that they have. And then we recommend there to be contact tracing. So the same as we do in the general community, if there is a case that is identified, what we want to do is make sure that we prevent the opportunity from that virus from transmitting from one individual to another. So it's important to identify the contacts of those children, and those children be in quarantine for a certain number of days so that they don't have the opportunity to spread should they be infected. But all of that requires detailed planning by the school. It requires good communication with the students themselves. First of all, to take the measures to prevent themselves from getting infected and passing to others, but also to know what to do if they are feeling unwell or if they happen to be a case.
Time now for a quick look at today's other top stories. The Commission on Human Rights pays tribute to its chairman Chito Gascon after his sudden passing due to COVID-19. The CHR said Gascon's leadership has inspired and nurtured a culture of empowering and a safe environment that moves CHR personnel to serve with genuine compassion and integrity. They added that Gascon was unwavering and unflinching in his fight for freedom, truth, and justice in the pursuit of human rights. Pag-asa says Tropical Storm Maring maintains its strength while moving west-northwestward over the West Philippine Sea. Maring was last spotted some 820 kilometers east of Vira Catanduanes while moving west-northwestward. And Tropical Depression Nando, meanwhile, slightly weakens as it continues to accelerate west-southwestward. Nando was last spotted some 930 kilometers east of Central Luzon. And in the PBA, it was the Meralco Bolts and the TNT Tropang Giga that came out on top in Game 3 of the respective semifinal series. A depleted Meralco squad managed to power through against the Magnolia Hotshots 91-86 to snatch their first win in the semis. TNT, meanwhile, dominated the San Miguel Beermen en route to a 115-98 victory to take a 2-1 series lead. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Do visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. And you can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.